Hey guys. Hey, today I'm really excited because an awesome student from Eisenhower Elementary left me a comment, in the comment section below, suggesting that I draw the Punisher. Now, as I explained to him, I don't really copy other characters, but I created my own character based on the Punisher. So today we're going to draw the Penciler. Now, a few things before we get started. I want you to try holding your pencil towards the center, and much more importantly, I want you to hold onto your pencil really loosely, and that way we can erase our guidelines. I'll see you shortly. Okay, let's draw the Penciler. And again, I got this idea from an awesome student from Eisenhower Elementary. So, just a reminder, let's hold our pencil towards the center, and much more importantly, hold on to your pencil really loosely. Remember, you should be able to erase your guidelines and have them to disappear. If they don't, it means you're holding your pencil too tightly. Now, we're going to do something a little different this time because I think it would take too long to draw his entire body. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a two-part session here. The first part will focus on his upper body, including his head, and the next part will focus on his lower body. So, as always, we want to start with the larger shapes. And of course, in this instance, the largest shape, of course, are his eyebrows. No, I'm kidding. His head. So, and that is an oval shape that's more narrow towards the bottom, where his chin is, than it is at the top. So let's go ahead and draw that shape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off about right here. So this would be like here. So this does not address the top portion of his head. We'll do that a little bit later. Okay, so he has this shape. Now, he's got these really big eyes. And notice how low they're positioned on the page. In fact, they're going to be drawn about right here. So see how much distance there is up here? So they're going to be drawn much closer to the bottom than the top. And they are half ovals as well, but unlike his eyes, they don't get more narrow at the bottom. Or I should have said unlike his face, they don't get more narrow at the bottom. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw his eyeballs inside, which are partly cropped off at the top. So see how the top part of his eye opening crops off the top edge of his eyeballs. Okay, now let's draw the highlight inside, which are actual oval shapes. Usually I'll make my highlights circles, but these are a little bit more ovalish. Okay, a little messy down here. I'm going to clean that up a little bit there. There we go. Okay. Now, his nose is nothing more than just a slightly curved downward line, and his mouth is the same, but a little bit shorter. Okay. I want to make sure that his chin is nice and close to his mouth. That's one trick in making sure that it looks like a kid and not an adult. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and draw his eyebrows, and his eyebrows are long, skinny rectangles. We can see about how close they are to the top edge of his eye. And this is kind of hard to see, perhaps, but he's got this slight little notch out of his eyebrow on each side. So, I don't know if you can see that on this or not. So let's draw the rectangle, the skinny rectangle that's a little upward pointing on the far right side and the far left side here. And then he's got this little notch out here. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw his ears. We can see where his ears are in relationship to his eyes. So this top portion is going to start about right here. Now his ears are, think of it like the letter C. So we're going to go up and out a little bit. And now, in fact, here, let's draw a letter C. We're going to draw just the letter C. Okay, so now I'm going to go over that letter C. The letter C is only a guide. Let's go over that C and make it more specific. So it goes up, and then it goes in, and then back out, and then back in, and then down, and then touch this part of his jaw. We can use that C as a general guide, but specifically, you know, it's a little bit different. So now I'm going to make a line, a slightly curved line from the edge of his head, and now I'm going to make a slightly curved line attached to that one and go downward like this. So let's try that on this side. So we can give ourselves a C. So see how we want to make that about the same size, obviously, as the other side. And I'm just going to draw just sort of a letter C attached to his head like this. And now I'm going to modify that letter C. So I'm going to go out, back in a little bit, then back out, down and around and under like that. Now I'm going to draw a line connected from the edge of his head going out, then a line connected from that going down. Okay, now let's go ahead and establish his hairline, which is partly established here, but kind of not at the same time. So we can see the triangle here, see the triangle part that this makes up here. So it starts here from the top edge of the ear. We're going to go, this is the curved line. So see, I'm getting ready to make that triangle there. And now I'm going to stop. I'm going to go from here and then make a curved line upward towards the hairline. So see how this looks like a little triangle part? Let's try that on this side. So we're going to start from the ear, and we're going to go, again, a curved line so it doesn't go straight up. It goes up, but at a curve. So now we're going to stop there and start here and make a line going in this direction towards the hair line. See that? So this part has like this little triangle looking shape. Okay, so now let's go ahead and refine his actual hairline. And we can see that this is just a simple curve. This has a point in the middle. So see, it goes down and back up. So what we can do is just make a little triangular shaped part here in the middle. That'll give him that nice point in the middle that he has. See that? Then we can erase this line. So now it looks much more like this. And actually probably not enough. I'm going to make mine. Okay, there we go. That probably looks a little bit better on mine. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make this one single strand of hair. This is what gives him the cool factor. So we're going to start here at the point where this line meets that one. We're going to go up and curve around and aim right towards his eyebrow. See that? Go right through his eyebrow. In fact, we'll erase a little bit of his eyebrow. It might be easier to do it now before we put the other line, since the other line is going to be so close to this one. So now we start here and we create like a little point, a little triangular point. Now we go up and we purposely make this a little bit wider there. See that? And we're going to follow the same curve that we drew before. And now we're going to erase the line through the hairline. So that gives him that nice little cool strand of hair. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and address, let's go to this side of the head. Let's go ahead and address a few of these triangular shaped hairs on this side, like that. And let's go to this side and do the same thing. Now these are downward pointing triangles, and these are kind of almost upward pointing triangles. We got just a few of them. Okay, now so let's stop there, and what my suggestion would be is to go ahead and finish out the rest of the hair, for now anyway, with just a guideline. So see, this is only a guide. This is going to guide us to where we want to go. See, this sort of generally encompasses the shape of his hair. So now we can use that guide and draw the rest of his hair on. When we finish, we'll erase this guide. Okay, so here we have all these are triangular shaped hairs, and they're all sort of aimed in this direction, and then they're getting ready to be aimed more upward. And some can be aimed upward and left and right, however you want to do his hair. You get to restyle his hair. That'll be fun. Okay, but so now I'm going to erase the guide. Remember this first line that we drew is only a guide to direct us where to go? See that? Now let's do that on this side. So let's go ahead and draw some of his little triangular shaped hairs in whatever direction you want to put them in. Let's see. I don't know that I like that one. I might have to change it. Then when we erase, when we finish stylizing his hair, we then can erase that guideline. So see how we're going to erase it. And you'll notice that if you forgot to hold your pencil lightly, that line won't erase. And you want it to erase because otherwise it won't look, well, people will be able to see our mistakes, and we don't want that. There we go. And I can go and change things later. In fact, I want to change this one hair, which I decided to make go in a different direction. I don't like that much after all, so I'm going to draw it more like that. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and draw his body. Now, so he's got this belt on, but right above the belt, this part of his body minus his arms is kind of like a square almost, or maybe a slight rectangle. So, but he has these kind of narrow shoulders. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those first. So it's going to look like this. And then I'm going to draw the top edge of his belt, which would be the bottom of its shirt since it's tucked in. And I'm going to draw the sides. And then I'm going to draw this line. I want to make sure that line's not, that it's higher than the top edge of his belt. And this is the top edge of his glove. So let's go ahead and draw his arm. So now let's draw this underneath part. See here? Now I'm going to draw this part. And what I'm doing now is I'm not worried about the glove yet. So see, now I can establish the glove. See that? And so now this would go away. Okay, let's give ourselves another guide. Okay, so let's look at the overall shape of his hand, and that would be an oval. And we can see how, so see this line I made it would be here if there was a line there. So see how close that is to the edge of his glove. See, and you can be a little off. In fact, mine is, but you want it generally around the same distance. So now let's go ahead and turn the rest of his hand into like an oval. So this encompasses pretty much everything but that finger out there, and then also his thumb. Actually, his thumb's going to be kind of in this part. So, and let's work on his thumb now. So the shape of his thumb, I could draw his thumb actually in two shapes, but let's try this approach. So we're going to draw this line here. See where the line is in relationship to the end. And by the way, speaking of the end, we can erase a little bit of that if we wanted to. Okay, so I've drawn this part. So now, and this part went sort of upward, a curved line. And this part's going to go in this direction. See that? And we're going to round that off at the top. Now, we could, depending on someone's style, I could finish this out like this, but we can see that this one goes like this. There's a little bit of a dip. So see if I wanted to capture that. So I'm going to dip in and then take that back out. So see the little bit of a dip there. Now if yours doesn't have a dip, that's totally fine. Either way, it's going to look like a thumb. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw his pencil. And his pencil is a long rectangle shape that has a point on one end, of course. So let's draw you can almost draw either side. Let's go ahead and draw the top edge. We can see that pencil's pointing out in this direction. And if you need to draw this through the thumb to make sure that this aligns with that, you can certainly do that and then erase it. Now let's draw this end. It's going to be slightly rounded. and go to this part of the hand. Now we want to take this through, and again you can draw it through the thumb to make sure it aligns. So this line aligns with this one. Now we're going to establish how long we want our pencil to be. So I'm going to go to the same line. And here's a little trick you could use. You could actually put a line through it. And then now, so see how this is not a straight line. Now I'm going upward here because I'm going to go to a point. So this is like a little triangle part, a little rounded triangle. See that? And now I'm going to make another straight line. This is going to be the tip of the pencil where the lead would be. So I'm going to make another slightly curved line back here to draw the eraser, and then we have this little metal part of the pencil here that would be in this area. Okay, let's go ahead and draw his little fingertip that's hiding up there. That's his index finger on that side, and that is just a nice slightly curved line like that. And then let's draw these two ovals. So we've got this one oval, which would be like his middle finger that's partly cropped off by the pencil, so you can't see all of it. And then this last finger would be his little finger, his little pinky, and it too is going to be an oval shape. So we erase, now we can erase all of our guidelines, and that should be his little hand. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the letter P. So here's a really awesome trick to do a letter P. Okay, so let's first of all, so I'm drawing this edge of it, let's first of all draw just a box. And we want this very lightly drawn. I can't express it enough to make sure that your line is light, because this is only a guideline. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, let's round off this edge of the box. So see how I rounded that off? So now this would go away. See that? So now I'm going to round off this part. See how I drew that rounded off like that? So now this can actually go away. That was just a guide to help guide us in drawing the letter P. So now I'm going to draw this straight down. So now we can see the P developing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we start where this line is. I'm going to go straight up, and I didn't draw it all the way through. You can if you want to, and then erase from here to there, but I'm going to go there. And now I'm going to draw the capital letter D to finish out the P. Okay, so that is our lesson for today, and we can clean this up and get ready for the next session. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to be drawing some really awesome things. And again, thanks to the awesome student at Eisenhower for this idea, which created another fantastic idea that I possibly will draw next week. I don't know. But anyway, if you guys have any questions about today's lesson, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time.